Greetings. Hey, it's Susie Q. Wow. I'm heading to Sacaton, Arizona today for Earth Day celebration. Yesterday, I did a video regarding question 21, and I was playing a song, and it just sounded kind of not the best. So I'm doing a redo in the RV. An update on the RV. The owners of the RV are preparing it for 2 road trips. So that means that it's going to be gone, but I will be a house sitter. Fun. Okay, so let's get started. Let me find my notes here. So here we go. Today we begin to break down attraction 41 questions. Today is question number 21, found via podcast and video at YouTube channel Holistic Healing Community by Susie Jerbich. Do subscribe to follow this complimentary offering of how to tune into attracting your desired goal intent or juicy groovy new vibe. So question 21, this is a do-over from yesterday. Is there an inspiring song that fills you up and supercharges you? Yes. Wow. So there is a super song that really charged me up back in 2008. And so in 2008, I made a commitment. So this 41 days of attracting, and it could be whatever. Yesterday we focused on the body because I'm all about the body. Back in 2008, I created a commitment within my own self to be part of a poetry forum. And there was a publisher. I do remember he was out of Arizona, and he would publish an assignment. So you'd be sure he got original work from his little team. And then we had an assignment, and then every day I wrote original pieces of poetry, and that was pretty juicy. So from that, so when we really give our attention to things that we're desiring in our life, everything starts kind of popping and showing up. And I'm going to share the song because this question is all about the song. That kind of resonates with what you're wishing to attract in your life. But I have to say that that year, that was 2008, so every day that that publisher put in an assignment, and it was very specific, so he was sure that he had original work. And and what's weird is that, well, it's not weird. It's not weird. Nothing is weird. Everything is exactly as it should be. Everything is perfect. So anyway, what I noticed through doing that was I became and this was, I had a house in the country. I had a house built on 5 acres, and my office was on the front of the house, and that's where I raised my kids until they empty nested. Well, anyway, but they're all grown up. They're actually older than me. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, I started noticing through my writing that I was beginning to get really connected to nature and seeing the world through new eyes. And it was really interesting because as I really set that intention, I had a really burning desire and it felt juicy. I was super focused on everything that I was working with the poetry. I've got all these things popping up here. Okay. So I was really focused not only on my real estate and being a mom. I was a mom person back then. And so, it was a great time because as the more I wrote and the more I connected and also when I say in, it's like in, meaning it's coming in. I like to say that the writing was mine, but I have to say that it was coming into me. So as I, read those assignments, I sat at the keyboard, and back then I had a desktop computer, a big old clunky thing, and I just put my hands on the keyboard. And then it just started going. So the information just was beginning to pour in even back then. So it was really kind of cool and fun how that happened. But back to nature, I started noticing because I had a huge window and I could see through the front, I could see people on horseback going by. I could see, we had one little turtle that would come by about once a month. I would have a visit with the turtle. There were two foxes that would come by. They would get super close. So that was a beautiful connection. And if I looked out the back window, I could see there was, see bobcat, hanging out in a tree, or lots of deer, tons and tons of deer. We also, this is so great. I was really connected with a spider's web that was on our front porch. And so it kind of had the same spot. And every year we kind of watched that whole process of that web and that spider and all the beautiful activity that happened in there. And there were eggs, and then there would be a sack of eggs, and then they'd be gone the next day or whatever. So, I really connected in with nature. And the main thing I wanted to talk about is, I remember going outside one day, and I'd go look at this one tree. Now, I did a lot of this hand clearing myself, so it was a lot of cedar. And so used to run about 3 chainsaws and have people we hand cleared. So we hand cleared with chainsaws. We mulched and we burned the cedar that we cut. And then also some of the cedar posts were, I put them out front, and my kid's school bus driver needed them for a fence. So that was kind of fun to share those posts, for the school bus driver. Um, anyway, so I remember looking at this one tree that was in the front there, and I had a kind of a glide on the front porch, and I was gliding on the porch, and then I looked at the tree, and I began to see the tree breathing. Whew. Okay, so that was pretty amazing to me, to begin to be so connected with nature that I saw something differently. I saw through different eyes and a different heart space. I saw the tree breathing. It was almost like it was pulsating energy. That's was a huge opening for me in 2008 that created a lot of juicy. And of course, a lot more juicy keeps coming in. 2008, 2012 was huge year. And then, of course, 2015, the gifts really. Okay, so let's get back to the song. So I've got the lyrics to this song, and I'm going to read some of it. So if it's boring, I apologize. Anyway, but this came to me back in 2012 because I was doing all that poetry on that forum. Some people, this was a global forum, and people were asking, do I do song lyrics? I'm like, no. But this Joni Mitchell came up because somebody said that there was some commonality between. I'm not saying I'm like her at all. I was told that some of my nuances with words and my feeling tone felt kind of like I could write some lyrics, which I have not done. Haven't done that. Okay, so here's my song. This is a song back in 2008 that landed with me, and it's been with me this whole time. Okay, now, Joni Mitchell wrote this song. It's called Both Sides Now. She wrote it when she was a younger person, and then the version I love, this is what I was playing yesterday. I did, so if you go to YouTube, you can see it or hear the music, but it didn't turn out very good. My sound was creepy. Anyway, she wrote it as a young person, and then I love the version on YouTube where she sings it as a mature and seasoned mystic, really. So the tone of her voice and that, I don't know, she just really embodied it in the version when she was, a little bit older. So anyway, so here we go. So you may be familiar, let me see, rows and rows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feather canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way. But now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now. I want to sing this, but I'm not going to. I'll spare you that. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow. It's clouds' illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way you feel. As every fairy tale comes real, I've looked at love that way. But now it's just another show. You leave 'em laughing when you go. And if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at love from both sides now, from give and take, and still somehow. It's love's illusions I recall. I really don't know love at all. I'll keep reading because I just love this. Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds, I've looked at life that way. Oh, but now old friends are acting strange. They shake their heads, they say I've changed. Well, something's lost, but something's gained in living every day. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow. It's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life at all. All right, that's good. So, wow. Hmm, doesn't that feel good? That feels good in the hood. So going back to this attraction 41 questions, I wrote this, I guess about 3 weeks ago, a month ago. Just wrote down a list, and then I wrote 41, and then my good buddy, my muse, one of my best muses in the universe, said, "Why 41? Why not 50?" Well, I got to 42, and there was nothing else to say. All right. So that's how that goes. But I really want to just really just remind all of us. I'm going to remind me in my body, that there are so many different ways that we can stay inspired and stay in that flow, that juicy goodness. And I think I define juicy because people are like, what does juicy mean? That sounds kind of a creeper. Juicy is just like, I found a great definition. I just made it up the other day. But it's like when you're, like we're supposed to be drinking all this water. We are basically water, okay? So our whole system here, we are a container of water. All right, we just happen to have form. So just like I've got my coffee cup here, haven't done my protein drink yet. But when you put water into the coffee cup, then it turns into the coffee cup. You put water into a swimming pool, it becomes a swimming pool. You put water in your bath and it becomes the bath. Okay. So when I'm talking about juicy, I'm talking about pouring all of this beautiful fluid, good juicy stuff into the system to excite and ignite this vibrancy of the body. Okay. So when I'm talking about juicy being in the flow with attraction of whatever, everything's shaking in here. Earthquake. Wah! Okay. Anyway, but it's just this magical thing when we're in that attraction, whatever words you choose, whatever inspiring thoughts that you know to be your truth, or yesterday we did some affirmations too about having a more healthy body. So just really staying in your truth. You raise your hand. You okay? The bus. Okay, I'm in a different spot here, so I've got bus people in the front. They're all saying yes. They know what to do to create, and I'm looking in the back, and they're like, yeah, we know exactly what to do. They're saying yes. And let me tell you this, when you say yes more to life, yes to more to life, woo. And even if you're like going, I'm saying yes, I'm not really sure what it's about, woo. Okay. You are creating more and more possibility in your field all the time. And again, each one of these podcasts continue to grow and expand. So I'm going to pull out what's really been coming through big time. As you are creating more possibility of attraction in your life, okay? And it's like, oh, I'm so magical. I'm going to create a vortex. Okay, that's groovy, all right? What we want to remind you here is that by the time that you articulate or think it out or plan out some sort of groovy thing you're wishing to achieve in your life, okay, most of the time it's relationships, getting relationship, improve relationship, healthy body, or maybe going into some place of abundance, whatever that looks like, a better job, a new job, more clients, house, car. It's not all material. It's about staying, it could be commitment. The abundance might be, I have an abundance of commitment and integrity and dignity in my life. It could be that with abundance. I want an overflowing cup of dignity. I want it for me and for you. Anyway, by the time that you begin to notice what you're really desiring, it's because it's been in your field the whole time. What you most desire is already in front of you, around you, tapping here, touching your face, blowing wind, blowing kisses to you all the time. That's that point when we wake up and realize what we've always wanted is here now. Look around. Have a most beautiful day. And may your inspired song bring you more inspiration in what your heart's desires are. May you be blessed.